It is said, great families live in great homes. Considering the lecture The Rongguo Household and Dream of the Red Chamber by Cao Xueqin, this statement appears true. The pinnacle of the household's greatness is the prospect garden, created in honor of the imperial consort's return home. The prospect garden becomes home for the Jia family's children and wards. Each child decorates their quarters within the garden, revealing their personalities and indulgences. Baochai's residence, Allspice Court, is the simplest of them all. Allspice Court's simplicity not only emphasizes the beauty of Baochai's demure demeanor, but also reflects her assimilation of Confucian feminine ideals. Discussed by Susan Mann in Precious Records, Women in China's Long 18th Century, Qing noblewomen followed moral precepts from the notable Confucian text Instructions for Women, which established 4 essential feminine characteristics: virtue, speech, comportment, and work. Although Ban Zhao wrote the book in the Han Dynasty, the book remained a strong influence in noble Qing circles, becoming mandatory reading for all upper-class daughters. In regards to virtue, a woman is expected to be physically and morally pure, becoming a moral instructress for their husbands and children. Social expectations for female speech required women to be erudite but silent. Female intelligence was limited to material that would help with family learning, taking control of household affairs, or taking care of children. Comportment is similar to virtue since it is dictated by a woman's purity. Expected feminine behavior includes filial piety and maintaining a stable household. Family prioritization of female work encouraged daughters to be skilled at handcrafts, such as sewing, but at the expense of cultivating their intelligence. When women focused on intellectual pursuits, society perceived them as immoral, ignoring rectitude. To Qing women, their lives were defined by their inevitable role as wife and mother. Cao Xueqin designed Allspice Court to demonstrate how Baochai exemplifies each of the 4 traits, in particular virtue and comportment, emphasizing how she imbues the ideal Confucian female. Allspice Court's exterior is understated, mirroring Baochai's determination to be unprovocative. Cao Xueqin first describes it as a clean, airy-looking building, visible at some distance beyond the bank above. Allspice Court's cleanliness is not only literal, but is also a veiled reference to purity. The distance between the dock and Allspice Court is a reflection of how Baochai keeps herself at a respectful distance from others, especially the male gender. The essay The Propensity of Chinese Space, Architecture in the novel Dream of the Red Chamber provides a basic diagram of the prospect garden. Unlike Daiyu's quarters that are right next to Baoyu's, Baochai's quarters oppose Baoyu's. The far distance between the residences expresses Baochai's diligence at upholding decorum. In Chapter 73, corruption finds its way into the garden in the form of a bag embroidered with naked figures. In lieu of the raid on the garden, Baochai leaves Allspice Court, stating that she wants to take care of her sick mother. This moment of Baochai illustrates her perceptiveness. She sees the Rongguo household's tumultuous state as a risk to her reputation. Her reputation is even more important now, due to the prospective marriage between her and Baoyu. She doesn't want to risk ruining a match that would be beneficial to her family's financial situation. Baochai's reservation maintains her purity but disconnects her from intimacy. This incompatibility of purity and intimacy is reiterated in the Mistaken Marriage song from Chapter 5, where Baochai is likened to crystalline snows of beauty, pure and cold. Cao Xueqin lauds Baochai's moral uprightness, but critiques how it came at the expense of her emotional fulfillment. Baochai's resolve to maintain a good reputation gives Allspice Court a holy air. Allspice Court presides high over the bank where the guest boats dock, becoming an imposing figure. In order to reach it, the guests must climb a flight of cloud-shaped stone steps. Cao Xueqin's imagery parallels Allspice Court to heaven, a salvation. The Rongguo household's ascent to Allspice Court is transcendental, from passionate self-indulgence to enlightenment. As taught in Neo-Confucianism, the path to enlightenment is reached through fulfilling one's societal role. Baochai is highly cognizant of this principle. She consistently reminds others to fulfill their expected roles. In Chapter 37, Baochai and Shi Xiangyun sit together generating poetry club themes. Baochai discontinues her nuanced analysis of poetic cliches and admonishes their improper behavior. She reminds Xiangyun and herself that they must do what is expected of young women, spinning and sewing, and not spend time on this sort of thing. A constant point of contention between Baochai and Baoyu is his unwillingness to do what the family expects or needs, such as passing the civil service exam. Baochai is frustrated by Baoyu's lack of ambition, pointing out that he lacks the strength of character or Confucian sensibility. At the end of the novel, Baochai's supreme Confucian sensibility is one reason why the Jia family is reorientated towards prosperity. Baochai will undoubtedly teach her son, the Rongguo male heir Jia Hui, to adhere to Neo-Confucian values and maintain a simple household. Baochai's sagacious and prudent resolve is the necessary remedy to the Rongguo male line's inherent corruption. The austere interior of Allspice Court illustrates Baochai's self-control over her material and intellectual desires. The few objects within a room are a cheap ding vase, a few books, tea things, and drab black hangings and covers. Allspice Court's unadorned interior conveys Baochai's rejection of materialism, which contrasts the Rongguo household's self-indulgent lifestyle. Baochai only owns a few books, emphasizing her sincerity when stating that spinning and sewing are our proper business when critiquing Daiyu and Xiangyun. Despite being well-read, Baochai forgoes owning more books because she wishes to conform to the belief that women should only know what is necessary. As it is not her fate to be a scholar, just a wife and a mother, she must create the illusion that she knows less than she does. The last item Baochai owns, a tea set, is equally significant as the books. The tea set symbolizes Baochai's prioritization of fulfilling feminine duties, entertaining, and taking care of the household. Baochai's assimilation of Neo-Confucian ideals establishes her as the moral instructress of the Rongguo household. Lady Wang muses over Baochai's dignity after Baoyu abandons her and their unborn child, saying Baochai was always fond of plain, simple things, which is perhaps why she has ended up in this predicament. Allspice Court is the Confucian stronghold in the Prospect Garden, the embodiment of spiritual and material indulgence. Baochai is the long-awaited remedy for the Jia's corrupt male lineage. However, they do not offer her the same relief. Although her marriage to Baoyu benefits her family, Baochai must accept a loveless and lonely future. Cao Xueqin characterizes Baochai as the Neo-Confucian female paragon to reveal that achieving the pinnacle of Neo-Confucian morality is emotionally unfulfilling. He illustrates how Neo-Confucianism can cultivate women who restore moral righteousness in corrupt society, but he also illustrates that it will always be at the expense of the woman's sense of self, which includes their experience of intimacy, love, and contentment.